Hey, welcome everyone. I'm David Bowders with Hounds, and I'm here today with Brad Bichak. Brad is an electrician in New Jersey and a social media influencer. Welcome, Brad.
Thank you.
Great to have you. Tell us a little bit about your background being an electrician and your experience in the industry.
So I've been doing it for about 7 years. I went to high school for it, vocational high school. Went there for 4 years, and then right out of there, got right into it. I did the work-study program in high school, so I went to school for half day. Then I went to work for the other half, and then kind of just from there, went right into work, and I'm doing it ever since.
That's
I
great. And
love it.
how old are you today?
I'm 24.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it's just getting started
Yeah,
in the
exactly.
industry, and obviously there's a lot of change going on in the industry right now. Tell us a
Yeah.
little bit about what you're seeing, particularly being in the youngest generation now.
I think social media has been a really great thing for the trades. Even just going on Instagram and TikTok and seeing all the different ways to do things and seeing the ways that other people do things and trying it out, it makes a difference. Makes the job easier, quicker, more efficient.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty
So
awesome.
how people learn, how they receive information,
Yeah,
how they get exposed to new products.
yeah.
Obviously.
Nobody's stuck in their ways anymore. There's different ways to go about it.
So not stuck with the old lunch and learn type
Yeah,
approach
yeah, exactly.
to seeing products. Tell us a little bit about being social media influencer. How'd you get into that, and what is that all about?
So I started about 2 years ago with it. I didn't really think anything would ever come about it. I just did it to showcase my work and see what people would have to say, get feedback, and it just opened a lot of doors. And I'm happy I did it because I'm here today. So
Uh-huh.
that's awesome.
How do you what does your content look like? How can people find you?
I'm Sparky on Instagram. I'm on Trade Hounds as well. I post a little bit about tools. I videotape myself working. Just a little bit of everything. I'm not brand specific to anybody. Obviously, I'm here with Greenlee today, but any tool that works, I'm willing to try. So,
What type of work do you do as an electrician?
commercial, residential, a little bit of industrial, but we don't do too much of it. That's kind of a niche thing.
How big is the company that you work for?
I think in total between field guys and people in the office, about 30.
Okay.
So, I do commercial, and then in between when we're a little bit slow, I'll do service calls, a little bit of residential.
You do some gig work on the side?
Yeah, sometimes.
Do you think that's pretty common in your generation?
Yeah, I think so. It definitely helps pay the bills and get a little bit of side money for the fun.
And let's talk a little bit about some of the challenges that electricians face on the job site. We've heard a lot from our users on Hounds that when we don't have the right stuff at the job site at the right time, then work stops. Can you talk a little bit about the challenges of coordinating material?
Yeah, so sometimes it depends upon the company, the way you get material. Bigger companies, you have a material guy, then it goes down the chain. So you get a material guy, it goes from him to the supplier. The supplier, we have a rep, and then from the rep, it goes to the people picking the material. So if it goes wrong, where down the line does it go wrong? Is it, there's 4 or 5 different people
Playing
handling
telephone.
it? Yeah, exactly. So then you end up the next day on the job, you're expecting one thing, and you end up with something completely different, and you're like, it's usually the stuff that you really need that day is what you don't get,
Okay.
and the stuff that you don't really need is what you get. So that's definitely a big issue, but that all comes down to communication also.
We've seen studies that show that a lot of the impact of that shows up in dead time.
Yeah.
On the job site. How would you assess the dead time issue for electrical?
I mean, we try not to have any downtime. Like, I try to plan out, I'm a foreman for my company.
Okay.
So I try to plan out a week to 2 weeks advance of work. So I'll have enough material on the job to do a number of things. So if that one day, it's a pressing matter, I'll try to get it done. If something doesn't come, like material wise, I'll have something else set up. Mm-hmm. So we're always busy. I don't ever want to say we have downtime, because we really don't. When you get a big project from the ground up, you're always busy, no matter what.
And how many people do you manage on a crew typically?
Depends. Right now, I just started a Subaru dealership.
Okay.
I have 3 guys right now. We're going to probably have about 6 or 7.
Okay.
So it's a good amount, and then you learn how everybody is. Everybody's different. You learn each person, the way their personality is and how they work. Everybody's got their niche thing. Somebody might be better with bending conduit, another guy better at pulling wire, making termination. So it's kind of cool to see how everybody is a little bit different.
Are most of the folks who work with you pretty young also?
Yeah, I have an apprentice that started with me last year. He's great, and he's 19. He's right out of high school. The other guy that's working with me, he's been doing it for 3 years. And then we have a pretty young company in general. We have a couple older guys, but it's a pretty young company, which is great. You know,
Interesting.
everybody will try different things. They're not stuck in one certain way.
So in terms of coordinating materials, are you responsible for that on the
Yeah,
job
so I'll
site?
make the material list, and then it goes to our office, and then from there it goes to the supply house.
Okay.
So we use Gray Bar, Swift, Cooper, all the different suppliers. Yeah.
Interesting. And when you send it in, do you typically email it in, or how do you communicate?
We
with the
use a
office?
company called Autodesk.
Okay.
So we put our material list in through there. We have a whole sheet, just a material request form,
Okay.
goes in through there, and then from there, it's all typed in, so they can just send it straight to the supplier.
already digital.
Yeah,
Okay.
which is nice, and they can edit it if they have to.
Interesting. And in terms of communicating with the guys on your crew, what's your day-to-day go-to for communications with your crew? Is it SMS texting, or how do you guys communicate?
Mainly. So we get our schedule. We'll get a schedule, but most of the time, like, we know where we're going to be. Like, my crew stays with me, so they know, like, if something changes, I'll let them know. But day to day, we just meet in the morning, go over what's going to go on, and then if they have issues or questions, they can just call me during the day.
And how much friction is there having to go through the office to get material requests?
It's really not bad. We got a pretty good group of people, so it's pretty smooth. I mean, obviously we have our hiccups here and there, but what company doesn't?
Right.
You know, that's just part of the trade.
What about coordination across different trades? How much does that impact your work when
That's
other
a whole
trades...
other thing. I mean, you know, you get plumbers and HVAC, and then if you don't plan out, you have to have coordination meetings every week. I try to push that, because if you don't, I've ever had issues where you put junction boxes up in the ceiling for light, and then the ductwork comes and slams up against the ceiling, and you can't even get to your box. You know, plumbing pipes are always in the way. So this job, I started with coordination meetings every week, and we haven't had any issues yet, knock on wood.
So you're like the mini GC?
Yeah, try to be. I mean, the GC's there, but he can only do so much. He's got a lot on his plate, so
Gotcha.
we try to coordinate the best we can in the field. And we work with a lot of the same contractors, so that helps too.
What do you see as being like some of the differences in terms of what you expect as a young electrician compared to what some of the more seasoned electricians, in terms of how they work, how they communicate, how they, interact, let's say?
I think with the younger generation is just the new tools that have advanced. Like, we use like the hydraulic knockout tools and stuff. Like, a lot of those guys are stuck with, using hole saws and that kind of stuff. And why? You have capability to be so much quicker and more efficient with all these tools that have advanced. Why not use it? I have a Milwaukee, it's a hollow core nut driver for threaded rod.
Okay.
So you can have a 20-foot piece of threaded rod from the floor all the way up, and you can slide that nut driver all the way up to the top because it's hollow. I posted a video on that on Instagram, and I got a lot of hate on it because they say, oh, you can just use a wrench. Well, I just posted it to show off the tool, and I think it was like 3.5 million views and 30,000 likes on it, and just because it's controversial.
Okay.
And then you post some videos you think they're going to do great, and they don't. They just kind of fall off. So it all depends. It depends what people want to see.
Gotcha. And what types of comments do you typically get on your content? Is it, aside from the haters, or?
Yeah, I get a lot of positive feedback, which is nice. I get people that say you should have did it this way, some way different, but which is fine. I like to see that, because nobody's always right. There's other ways to do things, and that's kind of why I started Instagram, was for those kind of people to give that type of feedback. So
do you record your own content typically?
Yeah, I have a gimbal and a tripod I set up. But I was looking at those Meta glasses. Mm-hmm. I was thinking about getting them. I was going to buy them for here, but I didn't pull the trigger.
Okay.
But I think they would have been nice.
What do you think about the future of that type of technology?
I think it's nice with the AI too, because I know that one guy on Instagram, he was doing a panel swap, and he was looking at something in the panel room, and he couldn't figure out what it was, and he asked the glasses what it was, and it told him, mm-hmm. which I think is really cool. It's an advancement. So
do you use generative AI like ChatGPT or anything like that?
I haven't really gotten too much into it, but I have used it for certain things. Okay. I've asked it to draw me like 3-way wiring schematics and stuff, and some of it was wrong. Like, I was trying to test it, but
it's still early days.
Yeah, exactly. But I think it's going to advance even more, which it definitely will. So,
well, anyway, it's great to spend time with you this morning, and wish you the best on social media and being an electrician.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.